Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd. In the season 1 finale of Farscape, called Family Ties, we have a cliffhanger. Now, cliffhanger, give me a break. We know that Crichton isn't going to be abandoned by Moya despite this moving speech he makes on the needs of the many. Besides, it's the wrong franchise. So we leave John, Aaron, and Dargo pursued by the command carrier while Moya starbursts away. There's no suspense here, although it'll be interesting to see how they get out of this. It's been a long time since I've seen the beginning of season 2, so I don't really remember how it happened. But we can be certainly assured that they don't die. They're the main characters. And while there will be some main characters that will come and go in this series, this is not one of those times. We see a continuation of changes in John's personality. Upon seeing Crace, he almost delights in the tables having been turned between them. He sits outside Crace's cell with blaster pointed, almost looking for a reason to shoot. And at the same time, he savors the ability to talk with another human, or at least human-like man. Later, as he faces certain death, he remembers his father's advice that you have to become your own kind of hero. He's adamant that he will not be taken alive. There's open discussion of how the crew has become family, although John labels it the kind that would be on Jerry Springer. If you don't know about that, it's an old talk show that used to put together some pretty trashy families. Even Chiana has shown she has become one of them in her own way, and in his own way, Rigel has as well. At the outset, he only thinks of himself, of course, but he changes his mind. He's lost some of the thin trust that the rest of the crew had in him, and he has shown some remorse, but it's really not something that's going to make people really want to trust him going forward. We learn that Pilot shares emotions with Moya, or at least the emotions that Moya have affect him, and his emotions affect Moya. And so with this, he points out that they're very scared. Erin admits her mother told her that she was born on purpose, not in the usual genetically engineered way that they give birth to peacekeepers, but in a natural manner because she was wanted. And it made a difference in her life. First time we ever hear about this. Also, Dargo, who has been kind of playing around in chatting with Chiana, is showing real romantic interest in her now, and has the best line of the episode. Fear accompanies the possibility of death. Calm shepherds its certainty. Meanwhile, Crace knows he has no more future with the peacekeepers, no more than Aaron does, but takes his identification with the Moyans as a way to escape. In his conversation with John and Aaron, he reveals that he was overcome with a lust for power that overruled his better judgment. He should have thought of his brother rather than of himself. He, in addition, is helpful with planning Dargo's idea on distracting Scorpius. But then, in the midst of all this distraction, he uses that to escape on his own. Moya's offspring is now called Talon. That's after Aaron's father. Crace confirms that he is the only one of his type. Previous attempts have been made by the peacekeepers, and they always ended in the death of the mother and baby, probably due to the control collar that all the Leviathans had, that Moya lost before she gave birth, of course. This episode has very little action, and yet you're kept interested as there are so many character reveals in this. This is one of the hallmarks of this. We know more about just about all the characters than we did when we walked in. We hope you'll join Professor O and me as we discuss the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. That'll be on Thursday, and we'll be back on Tuesday and Wednesday. What day is this? We'll be back on Tuesday with Season 2, Episode 1 of Farscape. Until then, don't go far.